IELTS writing can be a little bit tricky, especially if you're going for the band 7, 8s and 9s. So in this video, we're going to look at how to improve the clarity of your writing, and then I'll give you an exercise on how you can actually implement them. Okay, so to get the full benefit from this tutorial, grab a pen, start making notes. Let's change this into an active learning class rather than just sitting there like a vegetable watching YouTube. Okay, alright then, let's start. First of all, with the English language, it's much better if you're concise and precise, okay, and succinct. And that means getting away with doing away with all the flowery language, okay? And this is difficult for non-native speakers to understand because in their own language, it's usually taught and encouraged. I know that in Chinese and Russian and Spanish especially, that using this formal language, this like flowery language of presenting things in a very formal manner using set phrases is the way that is taught. Okay, it just goes with the culture. Whereas in English, you need to say as much as possible with the least amount of words. That's a general guideline for writing in a concise and clear, succinct way. And this is even reflected if you look at the criteria. Okay, you look at the IELTS official criteria, it says a clear, coherent way, and then band 8 it says something like the writing presents a clear purpose. Okay, so this is encouraged. Okay, and in this video I'll give you a few strategies about how to implement, how to transform your writing into much more succinct fashion. Okay, now what you need to do is the first step is look for negative constructions in your writing and then replace it with negative verb forms. Okay, I'll give you an example. Various scientists did not have sufficient material. 7 words there, 7 words. Okay, compare that with various scientists had insufficient material. 5 words. I've communicated exactly the same, or something like 90% similar, but I used a negative verb form. How did I do that? Well, I transformed sufficient, or did not have sufficient, to insufficient. So if you want to get good at that, you need to learn the negative verb forms of some of the words. Okay, and this will usually goes hand in hand with learning the prefixes, the suffixes, to transform those verbs. Okay, and each word will have its own rule. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details now, but yeah, it's either going to be dis, un, in, depending on the origin of the word. So strategy number 2 is kill unnecessary words. So can you say something similar but with less words? Pretty clear. All right, let's have a look. First example. People who live in the city sometimes have air pollution related health problems. Okay, compare that with city citizens often suffer the effects of air pollution. Okay, basically said the same but with 4 less words. Okay, and this means that I can squeeze more content, I can communicate more, and I'm going to increase the chances of getting the task response, but also my writing is going to be in a more academic style. It's going to be more succinct. Alright? So, there's other ways we can do this. That was it. There's a tip here to use these, to kill unnecessary words. We can use fail to. Okay? It's a good verb to get complete control of. You can start using fail to instead of a negative construction or a whole 3 or 4 sentences to describe it, of 3 or 4 words, then you're cooking with gas, as we say. Another technique that we can do to transform our writing to make it sound more academic is if we can identify what sounds like spoken English. Okay, I'll give you a brief example. So if I write, the results got smaller every time, and that's fine grammatically, and it's fine for your spoken English. However, if we were to transform it, we could say, the results contracted repeatedly. And I've communicated the same, but I've used less words, so it's more succinct. And, I replaced every time by repeatedly, and it means the same, more or less. Okay, so if you can scan your work and look for those kinds of situations where you've got two words and you could replace it with one, you're on the right track. Now, the third and final tip for transforming your essays is to do with the word get. Okay, now get is a very useful word, but it's more appropriate for spoken English. Okay, and the reason why is because we can be more accurate, more precise by substituting the word for another one. I'll give you an example. Okay, well, like we did before, got smaller, we could say contracted. If we're writing in IELTS Task 1, the general, and we could say, I got your letter last week from your company, whatever. Okay, I could say, I received your letter last week. Okay, and what we do is change get for receive. Another example, students never get jobs after graduating, for example. Okay, I could say students never obtain jobs after graduating, and change get for obtain. And there's lots of different examples or opportunities where you can do this, where you can interchange get for a more precise word. Now, if your native language is a Romance language, that means Italian, French, Romanian, Spanish, Portuguese, then you're going to find this very easy, because usually the alternative is a word that comes from Latin, yeah, like receive, obtain, I can't think of any others now, but you usually find that it has a Latin origin, so to make it even easier for you. If not, if you're not from one of those, if that's not your native language, don't worry, you just have to look it up and you can start identifying them. Now then, what I would like you to do is go to the link below this video, and what you can do is click on that, and that'll take you to a page where you can see an essay that has been written in completely the opposite fashion as we've discussed just now. And what you should do, or what you not should, but what you could do, what I'd recommend you do to really take this lesson on board, is go to that exercise, and what it is just an essay badly written. Go through and see if you can identify the opportunities to improve it and transform it to a more academic fashion. Okay? And the good thing is you've got the answers a little bit further down, and you can compare them. Okay? And then the final tip is start doing this with your essays. Okay? When you've finished your essay and you've checked it for errors and all the rest of it, go through it and start looking for ways where you can replace the negative constructions, the unnecessary words, any sentences with get, and you'll see that your writing becomes clearer and it will sound a lot more academic, which is what we are looking for. Okay then? Right, so that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions, go to IELTSPodcast.com, sign up, leave your email, send me a question. Job's done. Okay? All the best and good luck. Jump from band 6 to 7 or it's free. The sentence guide is the answer if you need to pass IELTS fast. Why? Because together we cover the 2 essential skills you need to pass the IELTS exam. Your IELTS exam skills and your English language skills. You get easy to follow instructions which eliminate confusion, frustration, and it makes organising your thoughts really easy. And to improve your English language skills, you send in your essays to me or my team, and we give you feedback showing you how to improve your lexical resource, showing you the errors you might have made, and this practically guarantees that you improve and pass the IELTS exam. Click below to listen to the other students, see what they've said, and then join me together and we can pass IELTS. Okay, speak soon. Hello there, in this video we're going to look at, and I'm going to do that again actually, I'll share with you a technique that you can use to start learning it properly. Okay? Stupid computer. Another way is advanced IELTS writing techniques you can use today and improve your essay. And it only takes about 10 minutes.